we shouldn't think it's not close to home. We are all drinking the water. We are all eating from the produce that comes from these places. And also for some of us, we are seeing the effects right in the operating theaters and the hospitals. And it's quite difficult to tell maybe a 25-year-old that you have to be on dialysis for the rest of your life. It's very difficult to have a mother give birth and you can't show the baby to the mother because the child is deformed. Or even mid-pregnancy, tell the mother that your child doesn't have A, B, or C, so we have to terminate the pregnancy.
Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Sincerely Accra podcast. My name is Joseph in T. Of course, we're back in your ears and on your screens, in front of your eyeballs, all of those things. But anyway, I want to give a quick shout out to the Gold Coast Report. That's the GCR network, the premier podcast hosting network in the whole Ghana. And of course, my co-creator and producer, Mr. Kwame Asante Ofori. Yes, the other half of this amazing podcast that we bring to you every 2 weeks. Yeah. Anyway, it's another exciting episode. I know I've said it already, but I'll say it again because I'm thinking of what to say next. But anyway, on this episode, which I'm calling an emergency episode, we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic that is plaguing the nation. Yes, we're talking about none other than Galamsey. Do you like the radio voice? None other than Galamsey. And joining me here today, I have some very important women, all women panel. And they're going to be helping us to break it down, talk about it, let people understand what it means, the implications on the environment, the implications on your body as a person. Yes. On my extreme right, we have
Boy Johnny,
a writer, a researcher, and a medical doctor. Yeah, thank you so much. And then right next to her is Blessing Enyonam Badago. Did I get it right? Badago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's also from Pure Earth Ghana. She's a technical project lead from Pure Earth Ghana. If you don't know what a technical project lead is, Google it. All right. Then, of course, my primary school friend, my Harry Potter book contributor, who is now a medical doctor, Teresa Ruby Corti Papafio. Yes. Teresa, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you heard of McGonagall is dead?
Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith. Dame Maggie Smith. Oh. A little backstory. When I was in school, Teresa's sister was in the UK, so she used to buy the Harry Potter books fresh. And then she would send Teresa, and Teresa will give us time. You have like two days to finish the book, the whole book. Harry Potter be brief. You have 2 days to finish the book. Then from there, you go and give to Ifanunu. From Ifanunu, then Teresa. Was there anybody else apart from the three of us?
No, I think it was just us. Yeah, it was just us.
Yeah, expecto patronum. Anyway, that was just by the way, guys. Yeah, we have to break the ice before we get into things. So, a couple of days ago, so the Democracy Hub hit the streets to demonstrate against Galamsey, okay? And as we've seen in the news, some people have been arrested, they've been denied bail, they've gone to the courts, they said 8th October, 11th October, things. And people would say, why were they protesting? They were protesting against Galamsey. I've been doing some reading, some video watching, and I've learned a little bit about Galamsey, but I felt it was important that, we also get people who are well-versed in the subject matter to come and educate all of us, because after all, what is it? Tin ton ting. Yeah, no msani e fa dream. Yes. Sincerely Accra. We are here to discuss. When was the first time any of you guys heard about Galamsey?
When I was in school, primary school.
Primary school? Which year was that?
Yeah, why? You want to expose my age?
Oh, no, I don't want to expose your age, because honestly speaking, I don't think I heard about Galamsey when I was in primary school.
Yeah, primary or high school, yes. It's been around.
Really?
Yeah, 2000.
Wait, when you were hearing about it when you were in school, what were they saying about it?
Well, I mean, it's a bad practice. It was about illegal mining. I can give you the history of Galamsey if you.
I mean, of course,
that, yeah.
I know a little bit of history myself, but sure.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to start with what mining is. So Mining is just the process of trying to extract a metal or an ore of interest from the ground usually. And depending on, you can classify mining depending on depending on the scale, first of all. So that's when you have the small scale miners or the artisanal miners. And then you have the large scale miners. Those are the ones with the technology and the technological know-how.
Like Ashanti Goldfield.
Yes, and Newmont and all those
Okay.
other places. Yes, and you can also classify mining based on the type of material you are extracting. So coal mining, which is a fossil fuel that can be used for steel and other things. And you can also classify it based on the metal you are mining. So that's metal ore mining, where you have gold extraction and
gold is a metal.
Yeah, so it's a metal, or a mineral. Yeah.
Teresa, why do you give me that look? No, I'm sorry. Why do you give me that look? What is it?
We know this.
You and who know this? Integrated science, what position did I get? I got a prize in class for integrated science, by the way. Yeah, anyway.
So you also have the underground and above ground mining, yes. And most of the time, these small scale miners do the above ground mining because they can't penetrate deep into that. They don't have the machinery and they don't have the technical know-how to do that. And most of the time, when it comes to I want to just tell you the process of mining. Okay, so we have the legal mining, the general process of mining. You have a mine plan. You have a mine plan. You should be licensed to mine. So
mine plan.
A plan.
Oh, okay.
Of how you're going to mine. Yes.
Okay, sure.
So you have a mine plan and you go to the site, and then they drill holes into the ground where the metal or the mineral of interest is, and then they use they put certain blasting agents in the ground, to cause an explosion. And then when that explosion happens, they carry the sand together with the gold dust. In this case is gold, because 90% of the time that is the metal or the mineral of interest. But some people also mine iron and limestone. Yeah, so after carrying it, they go for processing, they convey it, and then they process it. They use crushers, and then it also involves water. And then that's when some of these illegal miners and the Galamseyers, who are also called illegal miners, and in French we call them opaye. Yeah, the ore is gold. the ore means gold, like dog. So ore in French. And paye is someone who is sort of like a straw man. So a straw man is someone who is straw man, like a charlatan, someone who does not have integrity. Yes. Okay. So
now is killing me. What's a charlatan? Only charlatans. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in all these processes, they use water, and the problem with some of these small scale miners is that because they don't have the technology to treat the water, and then they also go in for the cheap substances to extract the gold, because they use mercury to add to the gold, and then they heat the gold in order to extract the gold from it. And this mercury is what is causing a lot of health issues now, because there has been a report of about 5,000 kilograms of mercury being released in Ghana alone yearly as a result of this.
Year?
Yes, 5,000 kilograms of mercury that is being released, and we are all eating from the soil has mercury in it.
We are all?
Yes, we are all eating. River Tano has mercury in it. There was a study that was conducted. It has mercury in it.
Hey,
and they also use cyanide. Yes.
It's in the tomatoes?
Yes, and then mercury also persists in the environment. It can persist for more than, for decades, even sometimes thousands of years.
Hey, nah. You're making me a bit afraid.
We should all be afraid. Yeah.
Okay,
this is what they are doing to us, so we should all be afraid, like Galamsey says.
I see. Okay, so I watched a documentary. I forget the name, guys. I tweeted about it. I watched a documentary where they were saying in the early 2000s, right? Some Chinese found gold in like the river, right? And they realized that, they can actually do above ground mining. So they brought what they're calling the chamfam, or is it chamfam? Yes. Yeah. They brought them down, and then they started heavily like doing Galamsey as it is now. And somewhere around 2013, governments like cracked a whip on it, deported them or something like that. But apparently, they were working with the locals. So the know-how of using their charm farm, they left it with the locals, and they also left the machines there. So now the locals have taken it upon themselves, and that is what we are seeing today as Galamsey, which is what's gather and sell.
Yes, gather and sell.
Yes. And like she was saying, when they basically the charm farm, like it pulls water from under the water body onto something, right? And then it's washing that same thing. Okay. And then when they get the sand or whatever, they pour mercury, because apparently the mercury make the gold come together.
An amalgam, like so it bonds.
Amalgamate.
Yes,
so it comes together. Aha. Yes, and the mercury is very bad, because when they finish doing the washing, it goes back into the river and the water bodies that the people use.
And they don't treat the water. Usually the large scale people are supposed to treat it before they dump their waste, but these small scale miners, they don't care. They just dump it anywhere. Yes, and they're also involved in sand winding and other like excavating, and then the river banks, destroying the river banks and causing floods and all that, all of that.
Okay,
and then land degradation, so deforestation. Yes,
wait. Now there's afforestation, deforestation, and land degradation. Before we enter that, I want to ask Blessing something. And erosion. Hey, do you know the types of erosion?
Gully
erosion.
That's the deepest one.
Real erosion.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody will say one.
Everybody say one, yes. Blessing, yes. So I know that for Pure Earth Ghana, you guys are, you work closely with the government to help issues that have to do with pollution, right? What is Pure Earth Ghana's, what have you guys been doing when it comes to Galamsey?
Okay, so thank you very much.
Hey, did you go to Wesley Girls?
No.
Oh,
that's my school, by the way.
They're the one. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay. Thank you for the question.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Oh, okay. Blessing.
I attended Mali, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. Then you're a shark.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on.
All right. So Pure Earth Ghana, just as you know, it's an environmental NGO that's into solving pollution, heavy metal pollution. And then when it comes to Ghana, it's mainly lead and then mercury pollution. We've looked at e-waste before, but as we speak, we've done so many work in lead pollution. And then when it comes to mercury pollution, we are actively engaging the government agencies as the Mineral Commission, the Environmental Protection Agency. And then there's one thing that I think we miss on when it comes to talking or dealing with these issues. The grassroots, that's the organizations, the EPA and then the Minerals Commission, they are agencies.
Environmental Protection Agency. All right.
Yes. And then the Minerals Commission, their offices or their branches around these mining areas. And then also when you go down to the mining areas, we have mineral associations. So what we do is to try to engage them directly to get what their problem is or the feedback from them as well as gather all these to help make informed decisions. Right now, we are working on a project called the Mercury Impact Assessment, which is being funded by the UK government, and it's in partnership with the Environmental Protection Agency.
The EPA.
Yeah, with the EPA. So at Pure Earth, we use a standardized approach in identifying and characterizing the sites to help make policies or strengthen policies that would regulate these sectors. So when it comes to this Mercury Impact Assessment, we are working with our project or our tool, that is a toxic site identification program, which is able to gather information across all these regions into a centralized database.
How easy is it for you guys to actually get access to some of these areas? Because I'm guessing when you are doing testing for mercury, you have to get to the water bodies, right? Because I was watching a news thing. I don't know if it was Joy News or it was GH1 TV, but they were saying that because of how big Galamsey has become right now, the people that do the Galamsey, they are preventing scientists and experts like you guys from assessing the water bodies to get samples. So how are you guys going about that?
Yeah, so what we tend to do is to use the locals. Sorry to use the term use, but we work with the locals. We don't just go there as, they'll chase you away or hurt you one way or the other. So we try
they'll go there like, oh, Charlie, what's up? Hey, me too, I do that. I'm saying not one sense.
Yeah, we want to work with the locals to keep ourselves safe.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Okay. All right. Anyway, so there's this statistic that I saw that Ghana has issued 1,696 mining licenses in the past 8 years. And I'm wondering, these illegal, small-scale illegal mine Galamseyers, are they issued certificates to do what they do?
Illegal. So for the illegal ones,
That means they
no.
don't have a certificate.
Yes, but we have these small scale miners who have been licensed.
Okay.
Yes, who have gone through the protocols and then how to even decommission the sites after using this mercury or getting their gold. There are even protocols to, decommission a site. That's to leave a site.
So these licensed small-scale miners, they follow protocol.
Yes.
So that means that what they are doing is not harming the earth?
It's not. I wouldn't say.
Supposedly,
Supposedly, thank you.
Yeah.
They've been granted the license, all right, but then you've been granted, you go down to do your business and then regulations. So one problem we found out was we need to strengthen the regulations. In enforcement, there are policies, there's this Minamata Convention, there's a national action.
Minamata.
Yeah.
Teresa, you know it. No, but you know what I find interesting in Ghana is that there's always rules and regulations that are supposed to, prevent some certain things. The problem we always have is enforcement.
Some people.
That's a major thing we've come across. Even with the lead pollution, we found out so many sources which we've brought out. We did a study that found out that we have about 53 children being lead poisoned out of the study we carried. And then
what was the sample size?
The sample size was around 2,000.
Oh, so as of 2053.
Yeah, 53%.
I see.
Yes.
But is this 53%? That is considerable. Yeah. Is the lead poison also a result of Galamsey? Is this something that happens is there a by?
Yeah, so mining can result in lead poisoning. It brings out other forms of metals. It's not just the gold.
Yeah.
We have minerals. Yes, we have heavy metals which are below the earth, living at a temperature that is favorable for them. So during these mining activities, these metals are able to come out to the surface and they are not able to survive. So they form the reaction, I've forgotten the name, and then they move into water bodies and the rest. And then that's how come we are exposed. But during our study, our major sources were car batteries. Yes.
Car battery?
Yeah.
Why people put car battery in the water?
No. This is not pertain to water, but yeah, recycling we have for lead pollution.
Okay. I wanted to ask, in your studies, do you have like a percentage or numbers on the level of mercury pollution that we currently have in Ghana?
Mercury pollution. Numbers, statistics, no. We are now at the beginning of our studies to be able to quantify it. But we have the National Action Plan, which is also more like it was through a study that came out.
Okay.
And then we have about over 1 million people in Ghana who are involved in this small scale mining. So that's the statistic I can give you. But when it comes to the pollution aspect, you could just imagine.
There was someone who did a study from, I think it was a master's thesis in Sweden, and they came to do, from Lund University, they came to do a study in Accra. And the person is called Askelund. So it's Askelund et al. Okay. And the person found out that, how come they found out that Ghana produces 5 tons? I mean, if you convert 5 tons of mercury, you get 5,000 kilograms per year. Yeah. So that's how much our water bodies are being polluted. And I'm surprised there's about 60% of our water bodies being polluted.
I mean, I did a quick research and just listen to every region, the water bodies polluted. So in the Western region, the Pra, the Boase and Ankobra, these water bodies have been polluted. They've all become Ovaltine color. Eastern region, Birim.
Yeah.
Apparently Greater Accra, the Densu.
Yeah.
Upper West, Black Volta. Ooh. And I've forgotten. I wrote AR in my notes. I've forgotten what Ashanti region. Enu River. Right? So like, and I even saw a map of Ghana with the water bodies. You know that map, and they had like a red for polluted and everything. That's not how we do the map in social studies. So everything was blue. It's really serious.
Yeah.
You were speaking about the different types of land degradation that we are also suffering through this illegal mining?
Yeah, so we are suffering. There's not even only that we are suffering soil erosion. We are suffering even so the noise from this machinery, like the Galamsey equipment, that's the excavators.
It makes noise, eh?
Yes, they make, and then the grinders, they make a lot of noise. And you're not supposed to have you're supposed to have less than 65 decibels of noise. These ones can produce about 120 decibels of noise.
Is it disturbing the people in the town or the people that
The
are
people
using
that live
the
there, the
farm?
people who use it. And funny
Yeah.
enough, the Galamsey also affects those who are using it,
But they don't know.
who are doing it. It also affects them, because when you look at the side effects concerning the soot that comes out from these vehicles, from all the burning and combustion and all that, they get a lot of something we call occupational lung diseases. That's the asthmas, and then cold. There were some studies that were conducted in these mining areas, and that's found out that they get a lot of these diseases. So it's also affecting them, and that's the water they also
They're also
drink.
using the mercury with their bare hands.
Yes.
Yeah, isn't there some kind of side effect to that?
Mercury and then and lead as well, arsenic. They can arsenic especially can affect the skin when it comes into contact with when you drink it or anything like that. It can cause multiple organ damage. And then these hydrocarbons from some of the oil and grease and the methanes and all those chemicals that the machines use, and then the waste substances from these machines can also destroy and damage their DNA and anyone who comes into contact with it.
It's like their DNA, that is us in.
Yes.
So, is that, would you
And the
say,
cells.
so would you say that's one of the reasons why there's also birth defects?
Yes,
so
it causes birth
If
defects.
you
So
damage DNA and then you impregnate a woman, so the
some of them can cross the placenta. The placenta is where the nutrients pass and then the oxygen pass to the baby. And so if there's a pregnant woman who is exposed to some of these things, and mind you, there was a study that was done. It found out that cyanide was in the yam, was in some freshwater samples as well. And the level of cyanide was supposed to be, the minimum level, it's not supposed to be in the water at all, but the minimum level is supposed to be 0.2. This one was milligram per liter. This one was 43.5. Yes. So that's about 217 times.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, so Teresa, can you tell us what water does for the body? Why does the body need water and lots of it?
So they really said a lot.
Yes. And you know the numbers, you know me and math. So I was at 43 and I was like, oh, okay.
Don't worry.
But the listeners will get it.
So,
Get out your calculators.
The conversion. Yeah, so tell us, what does water do for the body? Why is water essential for the body?
your whole body, so there's something we call total body water, okay? Your whole body is about 60%, or your total body water is about 60%. Okay, of your body mass. Now,
For adults.
yes, for adults. I mean, we are talking about
And an
adults.
adult
For
is
kids, so for kids, about 70.
So an adult, what age do you qualify adult?
Oh,
18?
yeah, 18 and
Yeah,
above, depending on which category you are using, 16 or 18 and above.
Okay,
So
alright.
let's use 18 and above. But for when I say children, toddlers, babies have higher total body water.
Yes.
Yes.
So I did like 90% water.
So the babies about 90, children and toddlers are about 70, then adults are about 60%. Yes. So your composition, you've got blood, you've got fluids running through your body. All these things are water-based. Let me put it that way. So to keep you hydrated, to keep your cells functioning, to keep blood moving, to even keep you notice when you have something like a fever, you shiver. When you shiver, what comes? Sweat. That's water.
Okay.
It's a compensatory mechanism for your body. So water is there to hydrate you. It provides some nutrients which are called micro or macronutrients, depending on whatever nutrient is producing. It's supposed to also keep your joints lubricated. You've got fluid in your joints, the synovial fluid. It's water-based as well. You're also supposed to have water to sort of keep your, I spoke about hydration, so the same mucous membrane. So when you open your mouth or you roll your tongue to your mouth, you notice it's wet. Some people have it dry. Those people are dehydrated. Nothing is working for them. Like nothing is moving, literally. So basically, water is everything. As they say, water is life. So everything you do in your body needs a certain composition of water to function.
Okay. So now, what are the qualities that make water safe to drink? I want us to do, a comparison between unsafe water and safe water. So, I mean, anybody can take it.
So, I mean, you have the physical properties of water that we all know from integrated science. Yes, that water should be pure water, should be colorless, tasteless, and odorless.
Yes.
Okay, and we have something we call the nephelometer. Yes.
Nephelometer.
Yes.
That measures the cloudiness of water.
Yeah,
That's right. So you're getting your
turbidity.
Yes.
That's
So that's the same. The technical term, the turbidity is there.
Okay.
Yes. So the unit is nephelometric turbidity units. Yes.
Okay.
And the ideally recommended value is less than 1 NTU.
So 1 NTU, 1 cloudiness.
Sort of.
Not necessarily, but yeah. But yes, below 4 NTUs is permissible by WHO standards.
Okay.
But anything above 4 NTUs, you start seeing particles in the water. And now this nephelometer, what happens is that when you take your water, the sample of water that you're measuring, so for instance, if you decide to go and take the Galamsey water from River Pra or any of those water bodies, you put a sample in the machine, you close it, and then there's a button you press. Now this machine uses reflection of light. Yes. So you know that if the more cloudy the sample is, the less the light is not going to pass through.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so that is the principle. And this Galamsey water is now 14,000 NTUs.
Yeah.
Just last year, the Ghana Water Company said that the value of the Galamsey water was 10,000 NTUs. Now, they can't use alum to purify that water anymore. They've switched to polymer. And polymer is used in purifying wastewater.
Oh, now that is
You know where we are getting with this.
That is crazy.
Yes. So it's really terrible.
Waste.
And let me show you. Sorry, I brought some receipts here.
Come on, visual receipts. Show them the receipts.
So this is a visual representation of the NTUs. So you have 0 there, and then you have 5. So between these two, that's less than 4.
4, okay.
Yeah, that's permissible. But this is 400. So I just want the audience to imagine what 14,000 NTUs is. Yes, thank you very much.
now that's a gay girl. Oh wow. Okay. So you mentioned alum.
Yes.
Does the Ghana Water Company use alum in purifying our water?
Now they don't. They used to, but now they don't anymore. Now they are using polymers because of
how contaminated
but then
it is.
the alum is aluminum sulfate, or some people say aluminium, depending on where it is. The IPAC and the British name is aluminium, and then alum is North American. Yes. And some people, it's controversial, the topic of alum and purifying water, because some people have done certain studies. There was a study that was conducted concerning aluminum that showed that in zebrafish, it was in Italy.
Zebrafish?
Yes, it's a type of a species of fish.
Have you seen Finding Nemo?
Yeah.
No, wait, he's an anemone. No, he's a clownfish. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so this zebrafish was found out that there were certain genes that were associated with Parkinson's when they were exposed to this.
Parkinson's is the disease that makes you shake,
yes.
Right?
Yes. And other studies have also implicated Alzheimer's disease and then ALS, the ice bucket challenge. I
remember.
Yeah.
I think Lucius from Empire.
Yeah, Empire.
And ALS,
Yeah, but then the US Food and Drug Administration does not have a limit on how much alum we should put in, but they've not set any limits. But however, some studies have also found that about when they did a study of aluminium, yes, those who work with aluminium and other things in one of the countries, and then they found out that those who had been exposed to who had 100 microgram per aluminum of creatine
liter?
in their units.
Oh, okay.
100 microgram, yes.
Okay.
Were the ones that had associated brain disorders. But then those who are
Oh.
less than 50 microgram did not have any of those things. So, I mean, it depends on, and obviously it's a substance. Almost everything has side effects. So,
Because
you
I
don't put too much
saw
in it.
in one of the, I think, Joy News reportage on the whole issue that in the areas that had the contaminated water bodies, they fetch the water in a bucket, they put the alum in there, and they wait for it to separate,
yeah,
and then
because
they
it
pour the top.
coagulates
It's a coagulant.
with the,
Yes, and they were reporting they were getting itches
Yeah.
and things like that, and people were saying that it could even be one of the causes of the birth defects. But I was wondering that, I mean, in as much as what they are doing is because of what has happened, it's also because I think they are not really regulating the amounts that they put in. I saw a video where she had
Sprinkle
like
like
this,
salt.
they had tied it. So apparently they sell it in the provision shops.
Yeah.
And she just poured the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's no real...
there's no regulation with
They are not
You
checking
know,
any measurements.
I think it stems from growing up. I think there are things that our grandparents used to do, like purification of water. This was an environmental studies or something. You go through screening, then is a flocculation and
So there's aeration.
coagulation.
Yeah, so they
You know
remove
all
the
those
grits.
things. So there's a stage where you put alum in it.
Yeah.
So you put alum in it to sort of form the coagulants, then they'll settle,
Yeah.
then it'll go into sedimentation, then it goes through the filtration beds, water, sand, gravels, all
Hey,
that.
they're taking me back to school.
No, I'm trying to say that,
Yeah.
in the past, these things used to work because of the turbidity.
Yeah.
It was safe enough for that.
So why is it not
Now,
working
those in
anymore?
the village now stop with the alum. They don't go
they
on to
don't
the
go on to the
next.
outside.
they don't
They don't
they
go
don't
on to the
filter.
next phases
They don't do
of
chlorination.
of purification. Alum is not enough because already you're not taking out the heavy metals. Even what they do at
Ghana Water.
Ghana
Company.
Water doesn't take out the heavy metals.
Which is why you boil the water from your tap. To 100%. Does it work?
How many people do that?
Oh, bye.
But you can't
Even
drink
taking
tap
heavy
water
metals.
directly in Ghana. Don't
You
do
cannot.
that.
No, you
And
cannot. But
they're
some
not
people
even
do.
sure of the sachets.
The sachet.
Yeah.
Or even the
And all the-
bottles,
the
everything.
Something like that.
What I'm trying to say was with the alum that they are spreading in it, it's an old practice that has been, that has resurfaced over time.
Yeah.
Now, it sort of causes, should I say, dehydration and other effects on your the lining of your intestines, so your skin. So it mainly affects your gut.
Oh, it's
Yes.
true because they said
Yes.
there
So-
was a report of gastrointestinal issues in the areas where people were using alum.
So you get that. So your intestine has a lining like what you have in your mouth. Okay. How should I say lubricated it is, So alum sort of disrupts that whole barrier, that whole system.
You can get H. pylori. Why are you laughing? It's
I'm going
true.
too far.
I'm going far. Okay. Because I know that, when the lining is destroyed, H. pylori can destroy
But
the
alum
lining.
is also
Yes.
used in deodorants, antiperspirants.
Yes.
What is used in deodorant?
Alum. Yeah, it's the
yeah.
same thing.
Hey, so
On
you
your
say
skin.
No, so you see, it's the quantity.
Yeah,
Oh,
everything's
okay.
about how much you're using.
moderation. So you see. Okay. So my next question was, as all the water bodies are slowly turning a little caramel color,
Caramel.
can there be a reversal? Like if we were to stop Galamsey entirely, would the water ever go back?
The earth needs time to heal. That's the
Time.
right answer
How
to
long?
that. Because, mind you, the mercury is persistent for decades.
Decades.
Yes, and
So-
sometimes thousands of years. Cyanide is about more like 5 years.
No, wait, but is it the mercury and cyanide that's giving it the color? Is the dirt?
No. Yeah, you were talking about So the dirt is also there, but then you were talking about pollution in general. That's why I said that.
Okay, so let's say that we
So-
stop Galamsey, right? And then the dirt will take some time to settle. What can be done for the mercury and cyanide? Because I've been waiting 10 years.
For the heavy metals, it's crazy. I mean, and then I think we are focusing on just the water coming into contact with these metals, whether be it mercury, be it lead. The skin is a passage or it's a way by which
your
you can get it into your system. And then by breathing it. So those are the sites, those living nearby these sites, inhalation, they are getting it into their system. The water body, it is getting in there. Their skin, it is getting through there. So I feel it's scary. It's bigger than what we think.
Yeah.
And then what we see is the water. We are looking at just the color of the water to tell that it's polluted. It's not just that. What we don't see is the heavy metals in there. Maybe studies are confirming it right now, but someone in Accra will be like, oh, my water is clean, and then like,
It's clear.
yeah, it's clear.
There's also silt that is produced as a byproduct. Silt
What
is
is
just
silt?
clay and a mixture of sand. And that silt, that's how the color of the brownish color of the water. That silt contains a lot of bacteria, and these bacteria can cause what we call waterborne diseases when these people are drinking it. So your
Elephantiasis?
cholera.
No. Okay.
So your cholera, your typhoid, yes, all those bacterial infections that cause diarrheal diseases.
Okay.
Yes, and then
Do you get is ringworm one of them?
ringworm is
It's a worm.
No, those ones are
It's not waterborne.
fresh.
so we have waterborne disease, the one that are gotten from drinking water. We have water wash diseases. Those ones are for the skin.
Surface,
So when you use that polluted water to wash your skin, you can get something we call yours or like conjunctivitis.
Yours?
Yeah,
Yes,
yours.
yours.
Okay. I remember that from social studies.
Yeah, conjunctivitis. And you also have some that's like the organisms are living in that kind of water. And then also the mosquitoes, because when you find out that when they abandon the mining area, this
They have
stagnant
like
water
this
is
water
there.
that's stagnant. It's true.
Yes, and
so,
then there was a study that was
breathing.
conducted in Obuasi, where Anglo Gold Ashanti mines. And it was found out that 42% of the cases were malaria. Malaria was affecting these people. And then other cold and other breathing problems as well were associated with it. And you also have something we call sulfur dioxide. Sorry, today I'm taking you to chemistry class.
it's fine.
We have-
Google for once, guys. When you hear it and then you open the Google, sulfur dioxide. Learn about it. These are the talking points, because the truth of the matter is, and I'll come back to you. The truth of the matter is, it's very easy. Look, this is an election year. It's very easy for people to play up these issues into partisan politics. That's the biggest problem that we have in this country. Is like, look, accountability is part of the process of democracy. So when you are calling out leadership for things that are directly affecting you, do not let anybody guilt you into feeling like, oh, if I speak up on something, I'm in the opposition. No, listen to what these ladies are saying. These things are going to affect us in the now and in long term. They are telling you 10 years before some of these things will disappear. You don't know what your lifespan is, but whilst you're here, you want to make sure there's cute for you. I mean, you always want to have a baby, you started your family, then your baby comes out and there's like a defect because the water has entered into the yam that you are eating.
Yeah, so your pona, your pujo, and then your water yam too. It's the cyanide is inside.
Yeah.
And then so
And
the
then the
sulfur
fishes.
dioxide.
And the fishes,
Yes.
I was actually going to come to that. But yeah, you finish that. We'll talk about the fishes.
So the sulfur dioxide, it's combined, it's in the oils for these Galamsey vehicles, so the engine, and then when it comes to contact with water vapor in the burning reaction, it produces sulfurous acid. So and that sulfurous acid can go into the soil. It can also form what we call acid rain, and then that sulfur.
I remember acid rain from geography.
So and then it can do something we call acid mine drainage. So that's when it goes into the soil and then it destroys the soil. It also causes a lot of birth defects, so limb abnormalities, heart issues. Then we also have the blasting agent that they use to cause the explosion.
Okay.
That's the nitrate.
Okay.
Yes. So ammonium nitrate. So this nitrate, when it enters the body, it converts into nitrites, and then it converts to something we call N-nitrosyl compounds. Now, when we talk about these compounds, please don't be afraid. Be afraid of Galamsey, but don't be afraid of the compound's name. Sorry. So when we talk about these compounds, some of these compounds have been linked to childhood cancers. So our children are getting cancer just by the fact that they are found in these Galamsey areas. It causes, it can also cause cataracts. So that means babies can go blind. In children, babies can go blind, breathing problems as well. Yes. And so those are some of the things that we need to be really concerned about. And CO, carbon monoxide, that's also one of the waste substances that are produced. This carbon monoxide, what it's going to do is that it's going to go into your red blood cells. Your red blood cells need oxygen. Carbon monoxide is going to take the place of that oxygen and go and destroy your brain. You have the children will have birth defects. So their brain will not develop well. It's also associated with ear infections.
Hush.
It's associated with autism. Yes. So
The carbon monoxide is doing police go soldier camp. This is the red breast say.
So can I add something
Yes,
to
please,
the
doctor.
heavy metal? So when you ingest water, your veggies, whatever you are eating that contains the heavy metals, now ideally your body is supposed to be able to digest these things, but heavy metals, they are not able to be digested as easily as you expect them to.
Okay.
So there are a number of barriers that they cross. Like your brain has got like a gate. Okay. So this gate is supposed to prevent certain things from entering.
Right.
But here's a situation where it's able to cross. So it's called the blood-brain barrier. You're able to cross it. For the babies and the mothers, that's the placenta, what bonds the mother and the baby. It's able to cross that as well. Now, when it gets to your kidneys as well, you're not able to filter it. Your kidneys has got something like, should I say, a sieve. Okay, the basic unit of your kidney. So you're not able to filter these things. They build up. Then they become very toxic. Let me put it that way. So toxicity in the brain, it can go into the sperms, it can affect the eggs. It can affect the eggs. So there's a KNST pathology Professor Sampine. He's done a study on some of these things. Affect the sperms, the eggs, the transfer, the brain, the kidneys. So that's how you get the metals in there. They build up. Then they begin to cause all these things. So before the child is even formed, before that sperm and the egg will meet, there's heavy metal, sort of.
Because I remember when I was watching some of the protests, there was this old lady and she was talking about dialysis.
So lots of them are coming in with kidney injury from these heavy metals. And we all know what dialysis is doing to people. I mean...
Okay, so I remember you were talking about the fact that water that comes, Ghana Water Company literally said that I think they are losing about 60%.
I haven't had water for 2 months. I buy water every week.
I haven't had water for
every week. 400 cedis.
This week has been horrible because I haven't had water for a week and I live upstairs, so I always have to come downstairs, come and fetch water. I feel like I'm back in high school. This is so unfair. But anyway, Ghana Water Company was saying that they are losing about 60%, they're unable to treat about 60% of the water. And so it brought me back to what you guys were saying about not drinking water that comes directly from the tap. So for example, with salads, you are washing your leaves and things. That one, you cannot boil the salad. Is it washing your salad? Is that with the water?
I think the main thing is no one is escaping.
Yes, that's a problem. That is why people are demonstrating.
I think I was listening to one of these programs on radio and they were like, you would think it will get to a point we are going to be importing water. Do you think these companies that bottle the water, that prepare our beverages, all the drinks that you take, do you think
sparkling water,
they wouldn't import to make these drinks for you. They'll make do with what they have.
Even the pharmaceutical
association,
they said they will have to import water to make the drugs as well.
How many people will be doing that to mix paracetamol?
So then we'll start buying the foreign brands.
Any water you buy, like your sparkling water, whichever water you want to drink, it's part.
You don't expect them to use food you are eating. Make your Coke.
It's the air you are breathing.
The air
you are breathing. It's all part. You can't escape as long as you're in Ghana. And it's even a worldwide issue because there are over 10 million people involved worldwide in illegal mining. So it's a worldwide issue.
Wow. Well. I have a I'm at a loss of words. I'm lost for words.
Yeah, short.
Teresa, we do comprehension with Miss Wayo.
What is it?
Miss Wayo. Yeah, is she alive?
Please, I beg.
Anyway, no. Honestly, thank you guys so much. But I think I just want to hear closing remarks. with regards to Galamsey, what it's doing to our water and our health, and if what people can actually do. So I don't know. Well, whoever wants to get into it. Blessing, Nam,
Yeah.
advice.
Advice. All
Give me
right.
advice.
Messi. Okay, so what I would want to put out there is let's all come together. Let's not just leave this for some people, because we are all going to be affected, or we are all being affected. So let's all come together to, in our little way, in our various ways, using our social media platforms, using whatever means possible to, come or protest, or, come against.
Protest.
Protest.
I was carefully using that word.
Educate.
Educate.
Yes.
And also spread the word. Because one thing we also found out was that those are the mining sites. Some don't even know about how dangerous these heavy metals are.
They're really in it for the cash.
Yeah.
I hear they make about 500 cedis a day.
Yeah.
So that's the problem right now.
How much?
Telling them to stop and go and do salaried work for a month.
Alternative.
I'll say that. Can you imagine?
Unemployment at Daruma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, let's all keep doing our bits. The issue is real. Some people think it's not, and then they are going to escape. But no, we are all in this together. So let's all try.
And then this together. Where can people read more about Pure Earth Ghana?
Pure Earth. Okay, so you can all social media platforms, Pure Earth Ghana. Just
no underscore, no space.
No, Pure Earth Ghana.
Pure Earth Ghana.
Pure Earth Ghana.
Okay, all right.
Or www.pureearthghana.com.
All right, okay. In peace.
I want to be last because I'm going to do sign language.
Okay, it's true.
Okay.
Guys, listen, she also does time. She said she's going to teach us how to say keep watching or
Yeah, continue watching.
Sincerely Accra. I want to see how she does Sincerely Accra, so I'll learn it. Okay, Dr. Theresa Ruby Korti Papafio, MD.
So number one, free the citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We shouldn't think it's not close to home. We are all drinking the water. We are all eating from the produce that comes from these places. And also for some of us, we are seeing the effects right in the operating theaters and the hospitals. And it's quite difficult to tell maybe a 25-year-old that you have to be on dialysis for the rest of your life. It's very difficult to have a mother give birth and you can't show the baby to the mother because the child is deformed. Or even mid-pregnancy, tell the mother that your child doesn't have A, B, or C, so we have to terminate the pregnancy. It has a lot of psychological effects on everybody. So I would encourage the schools, that's the teachers, the pastors, or you sit in the trotro, the Uber, just make a Galamsey conversation. It might not be your leaders listening, but that market woman, that trotro driver, that school boy or school girl can learn something, and it starts from there. So I think, that's it.
Okay, thank you. That's very heartfelt. I've always said I don't know how doctors do it, honestly, because going to an occupation where you know that there's possibility of death every day, that's a lot. But anyway, thank you guys for your contribution. Now,
Ajo Ajiri Boy Journey. Yes. So my submission. So the Galamseyers, those heavily involved in financing Galamsey, that's the financiers, those who choose not to say anything about Galamsey and what is going on, and the authorities who refuse to clamp down on the kingpins and the queenpins of Galamsey. They are all killing us. And these authorities must focus their attention on these kingpins and queenpins of Galamsey. Because Galamsey is really, really bad, and you have heard what it's doing to us. It's killing us. It's a worldwide and global issue. Yes. So can I do my sign language now?
yes, please.
Yeah. So let me go back.
Hey, she needs space. Move out the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hello, my name is Dr. Na. Today we discuss illegal mining, or in other words, Galamsey. Now, illegal mining, or Galamsey. Causes, health, and environmental problems. Example of environmental problems: acid rain, chemicals, cancerous chemicals in water, fish, trees, and animal death. Example of health problems or sickness or disease: brain problems or disease, eye problems or sickness, kidney problems, cancer. Yes, so stop illegal mining. Stop Galamsey. Thank you, and continue watching Sincerely Accra. Thank you.
Oh my. Oh, that's nice.
You can't
Let me say
learn
what I
this
know. I learned fish. This is fish.
Yeah.
And then I know this is problems.
Yeah. And then kidney.
Hey, kidney should do something like that.
Those are your flags.
Hey, oh,
Yeah.
good. Is it goodbye?
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, also, we've come to the end of another exciting episode of the Sincerely Accra podcast. For the exciting, educational, insightful, worth sharing. Okay, we'll be back to do the shout outs, but I want to end the segment by saying that, listen, if you say you are going to leave the country, which country are you going to? What is the visa application process? How much money? Have you thought about the fact that when you go to the country, you have to assimilate? You are leaving your support system behind. Do you know that? Have you thought about the weather, the food? I'm just saying, even if you leave the country, you are leaving loved ones behind. You come and bury somebody. So let us work to make Ghana work for us, okay? Arise Ghana youth. Why? We don't want problems. All right.